do a quick introduction and then we can kick off and people will keep joining in. I think the next 5 minutes you'll start seeing the rest of the Janta come in. So welcome back guys to another session of Main Gate Darbar. Anuj has been instrumental. We worked together to sort of set this whole thing up. So we only thought it's right to get Anuj to share his story. And we decided to get two people who are quite similar because Ajmera and Anuj both don't age. They're both vampires. They've been looking like this for the last 20 years. So it's an interview with a vampire only. So both these guys are going to be handling this. Ajmera is going to be interviewing and hosting this. And Anuj's story is really exciting. And he's just been focused with one process, and that's a crazy passion and dedication. He's a really interesting guy, and you'll get to know more about him through the polls as we go along. Uh, and I'm going to hand it over to Ajmera to take us through this. Ajmera, over to you.
Okay.
Hi,
All
Rahul.
right, thanks. Thanks everyone. Sajid, thanks to you and everyone else, Anuj, you included, for setting this entire thing up. Apart from everything else, I know Anuj from before NID, and perhaps one of the key reasons for him to probably reach out was that I know him through, I think, through '94, and this was when both of us were actually attending the much famous Bhardwaj classes in Delhi, trying to prepare for NID entrance. Yes, I prepared for NID entrance, however unglamorous as it may be, and so did Anuj. And obviously, we got along very well at those classes, and that's where this entire friendship started. I was fortunate to get into NID before Anuj, and then subsequently, I think a year or two later, Anuj joined in. And that's it. I've known Anuj for a very long time. He's close to my family. My parents love him. He comes home, so on and so forth. Apart from the thing, apart from the fact that, we all have heard about Anuj and all the lovely things he's been doing with Button Masala and other things. This opportunity that I got was interesting because it gave me a chance to understand Anuj beyond what I already knew him, to kind of try to, understand him at a broader canvas. And, over the past week or so, I've been chatting with him, trying to understand much more deeply um, where he came from, what was his background, so on and so forth. And one of the things that actually came through very strongly is that obviously what he does video stuff. Is that
Is it frozen for
so?
everybody else?
Sajid, is there a lag? Is everything cool?
There was a lag. Now you're fine.
Now it's fine.
I think it's the plants.
Okay. All right. So is it better? Should I carry on?
Yeah, carry on, carry on.
Okay, cool. So, anyways, what I was basically wanting to say is the fact that this opportunity gave me a chance to understand Anuj much more deeply. And what was very interesting is through this, um, you know, um, this small period where I was trying to deeply understand where he came from, all the dots, or rather the buttons got connected, right, in Anuj's case, as to why button masala, why Anuj, the way he is, and the kind of work that he's attracted to, the way he's chosen to live his life, and so on. So yes, of course, I mean most of us are inspired with the stuff he's done on Button Masala, but I think it's very this opportunity would be best utilized if we try to understand what has led up to Button Masala, because that is perhaps even more interesting for us to know. And given the fact that we all belong to a much more closer family to Anuj than the rest of the world that is familiar with the world, I think it's a great privilege for us to be able to listen to this story, which is far more intimate, far more personal. Because I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of insight hidden, there's a lot of emotion hidden. There's a lot one can take away from this. So I hope through this chat with Anuj, we can bring out some of those aspects that came out while I was speaking to him. And that's basically what it is. I'm basically going to, trying to help Anuj paint the picture that he painted for me through the past conversations. And I think what the place that, I would like to start, of course, is the background and the entire background of Rajasthan, the entire background of where Jaisalmer and the other places where Anuj grew up. So I would want Anuj to now take it from here and just sort of paint this entire canvas for us from his eyes and starting from the childhood.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much because I mean, when Sajid asked me to pick a person, I had many options, and then I thought of many people actually. And I asked Sajid also. Sajid said, "No, I'll be sub. I'll be sub." So I said, "Okay." Then I started thinking, and eventually I stopped at you at one point of time because, of course, I know you, but I also know you as a very patient listener and a speaker, and. So I and you thorough with what you do. So I thought it would be perfect if you interviewed me. You would probably research it very well, and so and quite a diligent time. He was taking notes and all. So thank you very much, Rahul, and thank you for such a lovely introduction. Uh, yeah, so I started my life as in 73 born, but in the first 5 years of my life, I didn't even realize that I existed because. I was living in Jaisalmer. I barely had any memory of that 3.5 years. I probably have two memories of my father taking out his bullet from backyard of the house. We lived in that Patuon ki Haveli, those Havelis, no, in that one of the line. And one, my father's doing Dant Manjan sitting somewhere. I don't know what exactly he was doing. I think it was Jarda mixed with coal. And then I remember at 4.5, I was staying with my uncle, who's 19 years old, who was studying law and who brought me up for a year and a half in Ajmer. So I lived with him alone. And then I remember sparsely being shuttled around between neighbors and all that. And then next thing I remember, I'm getting down of Tanga and my nani is saying, "Wo tumhari mummy hai." So that's when I actually came to know my mother at about 5.5 years. That's what I remember. My brother was there with my mom, and my elder sister was still with somebody else. So she came a year later. So then I figured my sister also exists and my brother, everything. So my family, actually, my life started at 5.5. And then I realized that, so my father passed away very early when I was 3.5 years. He was 27 when he passed away. So that's how it started. But very early, being in Rajasthan, I figured that everything is, whatever you got is enough. There's probably more than enough because my mother was working at that point of time. My uncle joined us later in Jodhpur. We lived in Jodhpur and we lived in these small houses, beautiful but very tiny ones. And the only thing I could do when living in Rajasthan was to go out and play. तो सड़कों पे बड़े हुए, बहुत मस्ती से खेले कूदे, नाली में बॉल ना जाने चाहिए तो दौड़ के पकड़ लो, शटल बीच में नहीं गिरनी चाहिए तो गाड़ी जा रही है तो उसके ऊपर से निकालो, नेट पे खड़ा कर दिया, वॉलीबॉल खेलो. So I became a sportsman because there was nothing else. Money wasn't the way to get any form of excitement. The only way was sports and field and people. And so I became very aware of people, and yeah, so I grew up very happily with me, my mom, my mama, my mommy also joined in. He got married, mama got married, brother, sister. And we were going to school, some random school. It was good school. My mama tried best to put us in good school. But Rajasthan good schools in those days meant like not so good schools. The schools were all right. So there was nothing to really talk about schools. I was okay, sincere, not so sincere, but I would just manage. Never got a complaint back home ever in my life. That's all I know till date from any format. That's all I know. So that's how my childhood started basically. And sports, started playing badminton when I was in 11th standard, found some friends. So basically I just lived the way life gave me a chance, and happily, very, very happily I lived. I never complained basically, never complained to anybody about anything. As a kid, I did maybe little bit to my uncle ki cycle dila do ya TV le aao. But once I got over that, then I figured that everything is just manage if you want, don't ask for anything. So I've stopped asking since childhood and really never asked for anything. I take it if I want. That's another thing.
So, Anuj, one of the things that came out very interestingly through those chats was, the way you actually told me about emotions and your relationships with emotions. What does emotion mean to you? And it'll be nice if you touch upon that area a little more.
I mean, living 40 years, one of the complaints I've had is that I've not been able to love actually, just love. Like I see a lot of my family, a lot of people, like the way they love, the way they talk, the way, and I've I've never been able to do that because of the reason that right from the beginning, I've become a very neutral person, neither here nor there. So between shuttling between the gray, black and white. So gray, that's my favorite color also somehow. But so I shuttle between kuch bhi kar liya, but वापस आ जाने का center में. So I'm very centered emotionally, not emotionally too emotionally connected. I mean, of course I'm connected to everybody I know, never been not connected, but it's not like कि मरी जाना है तुम्हारे लिए, वो वाला हो नहीं पाता किसी के लिए, भले कोई भी हो. So, and that's the relationship of me with even work. So I'm pretty much neutral in everything that I do. I mean, people would know that very well about me because they've spent like 20. All of you guys have spent 20 years. You would know that I'm never too emotional, nor too off the subject. So yeah, neutral.
Anuj, one of the interesting things that came out when I was chatting with you and I had no idea about was poetry and your connect with poetry. And while we are speaking of emotions, it'll be nice to, share something on that front with everyone. So I'm not sure most people know about it.
The one of the, yeah, I mean, it's part of the like the presentation later. I started climbing many years back. So this is one of the incidents when I was climbing, and some of you have already probably heard it, but the incident was fantastic. And so we were climbing a peak called Friendship Peak about last year, and there were 8-9 of us. And when I usually talk a lot, but when I'm on mountains, I don't talk at all. I know, and I've experienced it, that if you're in mountain, then you're dumb to spend any energy on anything else. So I go to sleep very early. I wake up. I don't even go to susu in the night. ऐसा करके मैं like I go and sleep. That's the basic idea, because I want to be clear that I'll be safe on the mountains, and I don't want to fuck up anybody else's life because of me, nor do I want to fuck up myself. So we were asked to sleep at early and then wake up at 2:30 in the morning. We had to peak. This was 5th day, and it's full of snow. You will absolutely covered like all to all. And this is 17,500 feet height. So we wake up at 2:30, and 3 o'clock we're supposed to leave. We left late. 4 of us left early: Bhagwanji, Rajneesh, Kuldeep, and me. And there was one more who left out in the way, and the others were giggling and coming later, aram se. And we started late anyways, and we reached some place 7:30, and we were supposed to rest for 15 minutes and then start. But we were like 45 minutes late. So we hurried up without stopping. Water has frozen inside the bag, and we reach on the top. And we're like 15 minutes or 20 minutes away from the peak, and the Mausam goes really bad. So my guide, who's called Bhagwanji, Bhagwanji looks at me and says, "Sir ji, क्या करना है?" मैं कहा, "भगवान जी आप बताओ, आपने पैसे लिए." तो कहते हैं कि पहाड़ तो यहीं रहना है. So that's what he said. I said, "That's good. That's enough for me to understand." So the guy in front of me had given up. He said, "I'm not going." The guy behind me was the Delhi guy. He said, "मैं तो एक पिक करके आया हूँ, ये भी करके आऊँगा, पैसे दिए." So somebody had to stay with the guy who left behind, and somebody had to go with the. So guide went with him, and I stayed with him. And there were two of us, Kuldeep and me, there. And there's a little peak there also. So I named it Sharma Peak because both of us are Sharma. So I said, we'll call it Sharma. It doesn't matter. Let's give up on the ego and stay. So that's when I realized कि पहाड़ों में इतनी अकड़ है कि अगर जीतना है तुमको उनसे तो रख उतनी ही अकड़ जितनी उनमें है, या फिर पानी सा बन जा अपने ख्यालों में.
वाह वाह वाह.
So I remember I became water and I stayed back. And धीरे धीरे टपक के नीचे आ जाओ, यमुना तक टपक के आ जाओ, फिर GK2 पार्टी करके फिर कश्मीरी गेट से बस लेके फिर से मनाली चले जाओ चढ़ने के लिए. So I realized I became water, and I was coming down and I stopped with somebody who was talking about her father's death, and I was looking at the water, and suddenly I just said something to me, and I said कि मुझे तुझ जैसा बनना है ए पहाड़ों के पानी, नहीं रुकना नहीं थकना बहते रहना है, पत्थरों से टकरा कर भी कोई शिकवा नहीं, पीछे मुड़ना नहीं, किसी से कुछ कहना नहीं, रास्तों में जो मिले ले संग बहना है, कि टुकड़े टुकड़े होकर फिर जुड़ जाना है, कौन मिला कौन छुआ भूल ही जाना है, ऊपर से नीचे गिरना है, नीचे से भी नीचे गिरकर एक दिन ऊपर मिल जाना है, मुझे तुझ जैसा बनना है ए पहाड़ों के पानी, नहीं रुकना नहीं थकना बहते रहना है. So yeah, I realized I'm water. So I figured myself out in that one little incident where Bhagwan ji said, "Pahad to yahi rehna hai." Yeah, so I write also very neutrally. I don't write. Basically, I look at something and I start speaking. Yeah, when you're a student or when you're younger, when you have a very fantastic senior like Sajid and all, you can't really say much. तो वैसे भी कोई बोलने नहीं देता दूसरे लोग, चुप हो जा चुप हो जा चुप हो जा. बट बड़े होने के बाद जब अपने में औकात आ गई तो आई स्टार्टेड स्पीकिंग मोर ऑफन, मोर ओपनली, एंड देन इट स्टार्ट्स बिकमिंग व्हाट यू कॉल you know, poetry. It's a more confidence now, so I can speak on any subject anytime anywhere. कोई रोकने वाला नहीं है basically.
Very nice. Anuj, तेरे को तेरी जो नर्सरी वाली पोएम याद है?
Actually, it's strange, though. It's strange, like how I told you that I don't remember anything from childhood, nothing, man, nobody. But I remember first 3.5 years old, I was a 4 at the first book that had poetry with visual. I remember last page पे थी 12, 11, 10 फिर 9, दांत तुम्हारे गंदे क्यों, 8, 7, 6 नीचे 5, सच को आती कभी ना आँच, 4, 3, 2 एवं 1, आओ मिलके खाएं केक. I remember word by word. There's another one. बजी डुगडुगी नाचा बंदर, सांप पड़ा डब्बे के अंदर, टिंगू जी अब और न टालो, जेब टटोलो पैसे डालो. फिर और क्या था? हाँ, रामनगर से राजा आए, श्यामनगर से रानी, रानी रोटी सेक रही थी, राजा भरते पानी. Strange ones. I remember 10, 15 of them.
Nice, Anuj. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. I don't know about everyone, but you know, that was amazing. That was really amazing.
सबके लिए भी amazing होगा, बुरा क्या है?
Tension नहीं लेने का. Anuj, tell us a little more about that small incident that you recalled for me about your Nana and the fact of you know, the whole the entire atmosphere around you, where your Nana, you saw him actually not even waste any food to that extent, and the, you know, stretching out that entire theme, stretching out from what you saw your Nana do to how you sort of looked at used clothes, right? And you know, stretching it out to your own life.
Then I remember my Nana was really scary. I think I haven't put a picture of his, but बहुत डराते थे और हम कभी बात भी नहीं करते. बहुत डर लगता था हमें नाना से. नाना मतलब बहुत ही मस्त, ऐसे मूछे ऊंचे और गुस्से वाले, कहीं गलती से शोर निकल गया न्यूज के टाइम पे. बट वो खाना खाते वक्त में particularly he would after eating he'll wash his hand in the plate, then he will swirl the water, clean up the whole mess in the water and drink the water. So, you know, that time it was okay. I mean, I understood it, but I never really articulated it. But I know now that in that one little water, he would do all the three things that we all do it. Like, so whenever I give this example to people in the classes and everywhere, people say, oh, how can you do this? And that's when I start by my Rajasthani style ki बहन जी तेरे हाथ पे जो खाना लगा है वो खाना 2 मिनट पहले गंदा नहीं था, अचानक से कैसे हो गया? प्लेट में जो खाना चाट चाट के खा रहे थे वो गंदा नहीं था, वो गंदा कैसे हो गया? और जो पानी जो तुम पी रहे थे उसमें खाना तो वैसे भी ऑलरेडी मुंह में लगा उसके थ्रू जाना ही है, तो गंदा कैसे हो गया? So our egos make us waste material to another level. None of us realize and I'm not saying it just for people outside. I'm saying it for all of us. We have egos, and that ego. So material, being in Rajasthan, material taught me how to be kind to material and use what you have, and that became also my life. Like I realized कि जो है वही design है. So all through my life, I've been practicing whatever is there, just manage in that, and you can manage it beautifully. I feel I've done it pretty well, and I can probably do even better, and I will, as long as I understand that. You can always buy something. You have the money. You can always earn the money to buy something. But there's so many things around you where you don't need any of these things. Your resources has to be shared, understood, smartly used. And it's there in material. Doesn't say anything directly, but it kind of gives it. पीछे लतिया मारता है बाद में मटेरियल, आपको पता नहीं लगता है, आपको लगता है हमने मटेरियल खरीद दिया अभी ठीक है, but it gives you back. You don't know who hits you. It's one of the materials that you wasted unnecessarily hits you back indirectly through something. And I believe world is round, दुनिया गोल है, घूम के आता है. प्यार से कुछ करोगे तो प्यार से मिलेगा, भाला फेंको तो पीछे भाला ही आके मिलेगा, क्योंकि घूम के आता है ना सब. यहाँ से फेंका तो इसलिए दुनिया गोल है. जो देते हो, whatever you give, you're going to get it back. Doesn't matter when and how. So that's why I don't ask, don't complain, don't कर लो, हो जाता है. And that became my material philosophy, work philosophy also. For me, design is whatever is in your aukat is your ability to design. I feel that God has given us enough to live this world beautifully. There is no need to learn, many more, skills. Have we actually experienced our own abilities before we actually try to learn new things? And we waste all our time in that. Have we explored what we're good at? And I see a lot of people don't do that, because this whole idea of learning new things is so powerful that people don't learn about themselves. So I'm not a great learner myself. I don't learn. जो है उसी में चलाता हूँ मैं अच्छे से. Yeah.
Cool. Anuj, the part that you sort of did not mention, which I thought you may, was the fact that your attitude towards used clothes, stood out to me. And this came from, not something that you picked up later at NID. It sort of came from behind.
Came from.
And,
yeah. It
so
came from.
It'll be nice. Yeah.
It came from them. See, it works everywhere. In my life, in my work, in my house, I still work alone. I've never had a servant or a maid or anybody to cook for me. I still cook. I had like 4-room studio in between. My house has 2, and there were 7 bathrooms plus everything. I would clean everything, even till date. Like I would pick up 5 rubber bands from the ground, spend 15 minutes in picking that up. It cost 50 paisa. But it's not about money. It was never. It's about how much respect you give. You give it, you get it. So every time I get something in my life which is good, it comes because of my respect to the life. It doesn't come because I deserve it or don't deserve it. It's because I give. So material wise, even at NID, I remember after NID first year got over, I don't know, somehow got up and went to MGD and said, MGD, मुझे आप थोड़ा सा अलाउ करोगे गर्ल्स हॉस्टल में जाने को? MGD क्यों? मैं कुछ सामान उठा के ला रहा है तो क्या, ठीक है जाओ. So I went, I walked every single room. I picked up all the soft boards, scales, anything that all the students had left. I got it. I took the permission to sand it in the studio. And when the new students came, I gifted them free. I gave it to all of them. So I collected something like 30 boards. I did it for at least 2-3 years, and nobody would know about it because I would do quietly. I gave my free scholarship back to NID in second year. because I thought I have enough money that I saved my life at NID. So I gave my scholarship back. I'm the only one who's given the scholarship back, and when in return I never got it back. Third year I never got it. I remember third year we applied and MJ said scholarship तुम्हें नहीं मिलेगी, तुम तो third year में हो. मैंने कहा तो फिर नहीं, चलो ठीक है apply कर लो. So I applied, Amit applied, Priyam applied, and Jumur applied. MGT gave it to all three of them except me. I was the only one who never got it, but it's okay. It's fun. I mean, I think I've never felt lack of resources. I've had, just have had enough whenever I needed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Anuj, tell us all about the fact that we know you as a person who talks so much and thinks so much about design. It's interesting to know how you actually thought of getting into NID in the first place, or how you didn't think about it.
I never knew about NID till I was in my first year of college. So my brother was a good. My brother figured out some point of time in his life that he should work hard and study hard. I think he saw. Probably felt something, so he started studying very hard. He's always been topper. He became a doctor. He was the topper of Rajasthan under medical this thing. So when the media would come and look at him and talk to him like newspaper, they say आपका पूरा खानदान बहुत मस्त होगा. तो पूछेंगे आपके भाई क्या करता है, वो तो बड़ी मुश्किल से पास होता है. तो बड़ी मुश्किल से पास हुआ मैं कॉलेजेस में. तो स्कूल में भी, कॉलेज में भी गुंडों के साथ जाके मतलब ऐसे पेपर के नंबर दे के पास होके मैं बड़ी मुश्किल से. बट अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन टोल्ड मी कि NID तू ड्राइंग कर लेता है, NID चला जा. तो किसी तरह से मैंने पता किया और अप्लाई किया. फर्स्ट ईयर, दैट्स व्हेन आई केम टू दिल्ली टू स्टे विद अ फ्रेंड, एंड दैट्स व्हेन आई मेट यू. देन सेकंड ईयर I tried again. I got through 95 batch, the Kavita's batch and Shilpi's batch. And 96, I finally applied for UG and PG both, and I came to NID they took me for PG. I mean, after I came, I realized what I've got myself into, because I had no interest in education. पढ़ने का कोई शौक तो था नहीं, और ड्राइंग वाइंग करने की इच्छा थी, बट बाकियों की ड्राइंग इतनी अच्छी थी, और पीजी वाले बच्चे तो वैसे भी किसी की तरफ देखते नहीं, सब मस्त थे, अपने अपने करते रहते थे. आई वुड कीप जंपिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर एंड आई वुड नेवर लर्न एनीथिंग. सो निकल गया. मतलब आई मीन आई रियलाइज ड्राइंग इज नॉट व्हाट आई कैन डू compared to all of this. I stopped drawing at all. Whatever I had to do. I remember Raj Kala used to draw for me for my courses sometimes. I remember Raj will tell you the story later. I mean, whole Orgo has drawn for me. I made one Sachindra, Priyam, Shwetab all sit in a one room, because वो कहते हैं ना ड्राइंग लाओ, कुछ करना तो है ही नहीं ड्राइंग. तो मैंने एक रूम में सारों को बैठाया, सबको शीट्स दी, जिसको जो ड्रॉ करना करो, और अगले दिन बिंदास खुल के दिखा दिया ये सब मेरा काम है. सब अलग अलग स्टाइल ऑफ ड्राइंग में, कोई चेक नहीं किया. कॉन्फिडेंस. आई रिमेम्बर इट वाज माय मिड सेम जूरी इन सेकंड ईयर. बट अभी बोलेंगे तो फटेगी मेरा वो करते हुए. आई रिपीट, बट आई हैड नो चांस, बिकॉज एवरीबॉडी सेड कि ड्राइंग तो. कृष्णा अमीन पटेल वाज देयर एज अपैरल कोऑर्डिनेटर. शी वाज सो स्कैरी मैन. अंग्रेजी आती नहीं थी तो ऐसे ही बजा देती थी मेरा, इतना बजाती थी. My first jury was 3.5 hours, because I said women को ladies बोल दिया था, और मुझे बोला गया था अंग्रेजी सीखो. फिर मैंने लड़कियों से बातें की बहुत सारी, और अंग्रेजी सीख गए, कोई टेंशन ही नहीं. लड़के तो अंग्रेजी बोलते नहीं इतना, लड़के बोलती है. So anybody has a complaint against me that I talk to girls, that's why my teacher gave me the feedback.
All right. So while I was chatting with Anuj about getting into NID and whatever, he said NID में घुसते ही ऐसा लगा कि ये तो जन्नत है. तो अनुज जरा अपना जन्नत के बारे में बताएगा.
जन्नत ही है ना, मतलब हरियाली है, लोग हैं. मैं तो मिला भी ना, मैं तो लोगों से मिला, मतलब NID से पहले जोधपुर में तो बहुत लोगों से मिला. लड़कियों से तो मैं बिल्कुल ही नहीं मिला था, एक भी लड़की. फोन नहीं थे, दूसरे स्टेट के लोग थे नहीं राजस्थान में. So when I came to NID, it was so many people, everybody has time. Everybody wants to talk to you. So I remember Sajid dragging me, and I was baffled when Sajid. I was walking down the stairs. I was by mistake put with Siddharth Chatterjee and Thomas Louis as a PG in UG room. मेरी शक्ल से वैसा लगता होगा तो MG ने रख दिया होगा, but 3 रख दिए थे. So I left it and I was shifting room and I came down on the second day. And सबसे नीचे Sajid बता staircase पे, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to shift my room. Good job, good job. And I had no idea what to say to something as simple as that. Well done, well done. I mean, like, there's nothing, it's not quirky or anything, but it's like, I don't know what to say. So I figured it was scary, but when I started walking around very slowly, I realized it's beautiful. As in, सब तो है, खाने को मिल रहा था, कोई पंगा नहीं, कोई मम्मी नहीं, कोई खेलने मत नहीं जा सकते. तो बहुत खेला मैं, खेलने को बहुत था, कूदने को था, बातें करने को थी, क्लासेस जाके कुछ कुछ कर लो, टाइम निकल जाता था. I never missed a single class in my life. I don't know what anybody thinks of me. I went to every single class in my life. And no teacher thinks that I was regular. Because I was keep hopping, like I always keep hopping. And yeah, so it's beautiful because I think the greenery makes it the most beautiful. It's like if I was the director of NID, I would give the highest pay to the Mali Kaka, who I still see working every day. Because if you remove who gives the most beauty to NID is not design, not people, it's the trees, and that person has to be paid. So sports made it very beautiful to me. People, of course, was fantastic. I had a fantastic batch of mine. I hung around a lot with UG. I hung around with anybody who wanted to hang around with me. I was desperate to meet people, I guess. So it's beautiful. I became mess in charge. Monsoon Fiesta was fantastic. Garba was lovely. Ice breaking ceremony was beautiful. Singing in the night when I remember Bala was singing. Bala and Pandey took us after the thing at the lawns, which disappeared. All those activities disappeared. अंग्रेजी गाने तो समझ में आते नहीं थे, तो मैं वहां से कट लेता था. हिंदी होते थे वहां जाता था. तो इसलिए मुझे वो सारे अंग्रेजी गिटार समर ऑफ 69 अभी तक गाना कोई एक भी नहीं आता. So it was nice. I mean, and I think one of those days I realized that why people want to leave NID, and that's when I decided I would get all the people back to NID someday. And I made it a mission to keep getting people to Ahmedabad. Of course, staying back in Ahmedabad was another reason, but it's beautiful. I mean, I don't think there's any other. And I've been to so many campuses in the world. I've been to at least 30 campuses in the world. None of them is half as good as NIT. The resources, the fact that you can walk, and of course, we were without the phones. We done so many phone pranks, me and Raj, and Shweta. Oh. कितने प्रैंक्स किए बाबा. कोई ना कोई मिल ही जाता था आपकी पसंद का इंसान कुछ ना कुछ करने के लिए. मतलब ऐसे भी थे जो बात नहीं करते थे हमसे, बट हमें कोई ना कोई मिल जाता था.
Don't say pranks.
Sorry, Sajid, say it again.
I said, don't say pranks. Kala will get upset. By prank.
अनुज,
Yeah.
तूने अपैरल क्यों लिया था?
अपैरल बाय मिस्टेक था. इतनी अंग्रेजी आती थी तो वही लिया, इसलिए. आता ही नहीं था कुछ. वहां जाके पता लगा सिलाई ना नहीं करना. So I saw ceramics and then I realized, oh, this would have been nicer. But it was too late, and since I'm very okay with accepting what has come, I continued with apparel. उतना paperwork और phone करो, बातें करो, तो ये कर दो, वो कर दो, change कर दो, नए exam interview दो. I thought continue. So I continued. I had a good batch also. Amit was there, Divya was there, Deepa was there. Overall batch was fun. So I never thought of like shifting from apparel. So yeah, that's why I took apparel. There was no idea of fashion. Of course, also in drawings, when you're in a smaller city like Jodhpur, you draw fashion thing. Fashion is still one of the most popular thing in the country. And interiors is the second. So still people understand that fashion is only design. So I also think I knew only that. But that was probably a mistake if I have to relook at that ways. But otherwise, yeah, fine.
Anuj, given the fact that you got into NID, and you got into NID, I would say, not so much by sort of thinking about design. It felt much more like, it felt like an option you got in.
That was the only option.
Exactly. So once you got into NID, at what point? I mean, of course, NID was Jannat, itni sari achhi cheezein thi, but at what point did design become something that started interesting you?
I mean, to be truthful, I mean, I don't think I would credit that to NID. Design was always in a way there. NID got me hearing about it more. NID gave me ability to analyze what I was already like. Yeah, NID gave me material opportunity. NID gave me ability to interact with other people who thinking or dwelling on it. But I'm absolutely not. I mean, design for me is still the way of living life, not an object direction, a material object. It's still a very much a process of life. I see design in uh, 18 hours of my life more. Sleeping is an art of, like, so living as an art of living becomes design for me. And NID was throughout was like that. It's just that I had to learn to manage the NID ways to prove that I'm a designer. I had a tough time. I was asked to leave in my first year. Then I was never considered a good student. Sports खेलता रहता है, कुछ भी करता रहता है, काम तो आता नहीं है. Skills wise कोई, I never had a skill. I mean, I still don't have skill. I don't draw. I never drawn. I mean, in last all these years, I've never drawn anything. So I've never, as I said, then in the courses, of course, you have to prove a point. So courses में जो कहते थे कर लेते थे. But जब भी कुछ नया करते थे courses में, I always tried. I made a garment with double-sided tape. It was rejected right away, saying how long will this last? And I said ये तो last करेगा ना, आप उसको पहनने तो दो थोड़े दिन, फिर तो पता लगा ना. और अंग्रेजी आती नहीं तो चुप हो जाते थे. तो बड़ी मुश्किल से पहले 2 साल 1.5 साल बड़ी मुश्किल से निकले. दूसरे साल तक फिर बोले कि तेरे को अंग्रेजी आती है इसलिए बच जाता है. फिर दोस्तों ने सिखा दिया थोड़ी समझदारी, ये सब सबने मिलके तो ठीक ठाक निकल गए. So I think design largely, the way I practice it largely started happening after I finished NID and I joined as an intern with NID. I got an opportunity to apply for internship. I'd become a smarter student, so I got through that. I think Kuntal got through. Alan also was there in it. So all of these people had applied for it. Amit and Sinha had got it. Sushant CS, Jasjeet also came with that. So I joined actually because I had no plans after NID. So I joined, and that 1 year gave me confidence to practice what I wanted to practice, even though I still practice what NID wanted me to. After NID, I started absolutely doing what I wanted to do. Never ever. So I never applied for a job in my life. When I went for diploma project, I saw what's happening.
Slow down, Shantiram. So I just, let's give that piece a little more time. Two interesting points Anuj made, and, Anuj, you can elaborate should you want to. But the 2 points that you made that stood out for me is the fact that, how drawing and English, these two areas which you are not necessarily, world famous for, came in the way of the design education at NID. And was refreshing to hear your thoughts on that area. So please to टिप्पणी करो.
नहीं, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि drawing as an education system at for design education, I mean, it's like I've discussed it many times, and I offend many people because drawing is an important part of a lot of people. So it's not good to hear against what you do. But as a person, since I never drew, I have a right to say what I think. And I realized that when you draw to observe, when you draw for understanding of a memory, it's fantastic. As an art form, it's fantastic. But when you draw to visualize, so somebody says draw a garment, all the people in India draw the garment even without making one, and then they spend all their energy in trying to achieve what they've drawn, because of course they haven't drawn what they what the material wants to become. So instead of understanding the material, they start drawing. Even NID starts you with drawing. The first whole year is drawing, color and form, and very little, like 2 weeks of material. And then it is already so ingrained in people that drawing is the key. And then you're judged on drawing. So if you don't draw well, you're not a good student. I know so many students who didn't draw well, but they're so good. But they never considered a good student while they were at NID. You have to paint. So if you don't paint, then you're not a designer. And it becomes such a strong, and people don't want to listen. Even when I say this to teachers, said, how can we teach something? I said, there are 100 other ways of trying. You've tried this for 60 years, try something that I'm saying for 6 hours or 6 days, and you'll know. So I didn't listen to that. Thankfully, I didn't fall for it, and I did what I had to do, which is when you draw, then you only end up making only that one thing. But when I'm draping, I see 100 possibilities, and I'm watching that. So I'm not really actually putting the fabric there and leaving it there because thinking that I have done it. So drawing is a visualization of something that you haven't done before. Is an ego also, which actually stops you from drawing, from designing better. It actually is the deterrent in design. But when you play with material, it's easier. You see more design, you see more possibilities. And when you draw once, then that's exactly what you're going to draw. And you're also going to draw what you've already seen in life. So out of the box through drawing is never possible, because as humans, we can never imagine aliens, no? Like Indians were asked to imagine aliens, they came up with Hrithik Roshan and Jadoo. Because whatever you do, you're going to think of only what you have seen or heard or studied or researched in life. Out of the box is not possible in design. It's a myth. And we make sure that we ask people to do something, like make something which is out of the box. And it's pretty scary because people spend a lot more time in trying to imaginative of something that is not possible or not. Instead, if they do it, they will come up with 10 new things. Like I didn't think of new thing as button masala. I just did it. It happened. It had to happen because it had to happen after a certain amount of experience of doing it.
Fair point. Interesting point, Anuj.
Thank you.
Really interesting point. The problem is today, we are all dealing with a lot of people, let alone making with things they don't even want to draw. So that's for another day, that conversation. Anyways, what's your thoughts about? So two things. One is, of course, the entire English piece, and that is a side piece. That's fine. It's a language. Let's leave it there. But I was trying to recollect one of the interesting conversations we had in the past, and it was about what fabric does to a person's form, and how in India we had a certain way in which the fabric would actually render the form, which is the human body, in a much more graceful manner. And that'll be really nice if you remember that conversation. And it's about the way the sari.
I mean, it's basically about heat and cold. I think I figured out some point of time that life is about heat and cold. There's one thing in common for everybody, that heat makes you, sweat, and so your body temperature has to be same. It doesn't matter which part of the world you are. And to maintain that, everybody behaves differently. As in, so if you're in a cold condition outside and your body still wants to be 37, whatever, then it has to do some things. So everything that we do in life is because of heat and cold. We raise our hands because of heat. It sweats. Yeah. We shake hands because it's cold. That's why they shake hands. We hug because it's hot. Shah Rukh Khan does this because it's hot. All the dances in the world, hands up. All the punishments in India, Malkham, Kushti, Bhala, boxing is a winter sport. Dancing with a woman next to you is an act of getting heat in the process of holding on to somebody. Dancing in the mountains is you put a fire and you cover, and then you keep going close and away from the fire because you can't stand in one place around the fire. And that's how the dance is formed. So all the dances are formed because of heat and cold. All the talks in hot countries, people talk a lot. In cold countries, people will talk less. That's why their movie lengths are smaller, eyes are longer. Everything else that you can imagine is just because of heat and cold. And our fabric for that purpose had to be worn draped, where the air circulation can happen. And we've stopped it completely. We've stopped it. We moved on from hot to cold. Our core structures are based on cold country, cold structure. They have to cut and stitch because they had to wear clothes in layers. And we've taken that core structure as it is and brought to India. If we analyze all the core structures just on the basis of heat and cold, all our problems will be solved. Architecture, doors, how we have like doors that are made which are cut smaller, wrong, because we can have the air coming in hot countries. In cold countries, everything is 90-degree because you can't have air coming in. And so anything that you see in culture had to happen. It's not any of us who's made it. Now, culture of clothing is probably one of the most affected one in that case, because our clothes is what touches us the most. And if there is any DNA understanding of material to a material, then clothes knows the most about human bodies. And the way we use it today, we will lose a lot about life in the coming 30, 40, 50 years. And it's happening. Nobody knows it because we don't discuss it. Clothes is so much about aesthetics now. It is not about what it does. So when clothes fly with the air, there's a sense of beauty when it moves. When it's tight on the body, it does something to you. So we don't wear clothes anymore. The drapes are going to disappear from the country in another 10, 15 years. And it's probably the biggest worry that I have. It's not about the aesthetics of clothes, what it makes you look, are you beautiful or not? It's a myth again. But I think draping is probably one of the most beautiful things that one has to constantly go back to. And it's, of course, in the hot countries, not in the cold countries. Yeah. I mean, did you expect a little more answer or something?
No, that is fantastic. I just hope, it was very interesting because I'd never seen, of course, for us, saris and a lot of other things that we wear in India, including men's clothing, has obviously cultural significance. And when one is wearing something else, you're thinking about the culture. But the entire aspect of how this culture is so interwoven with the temperature and the climate around us, and your thought process around it was very, very interesting. And the other thing was, Anuj, I don't know whether you mentioned, I don't think you mentioned it right now, was the way it makes the figure look as well.
Yeah,
And that to me, yeah.
So like the moment, like when you say design, so ever since design has come to India, fashion design, there has been absolutely no design. Absolutely no design. Fashion design specifically. All the fashion designers in India are actually textile designer, eating up on the textile designer's job. So there is no change in the costume or the garment or the way garment is made, in their technology or the shape of the garment. So the garment actually has become so tight there's nothing left for us to design on it. It's only textile design that is possible on it, because it's like a tight fitted. But moment I have it loose, I can do something to it. So draping earlier had lots of fabric. So even though all the people used to wear 100 years back dhotis, and everybody wore white, there were 100 different variations, and you could identify who wore what, which state he was. And now we wear so much design, and we've diluted the identity of people, where they come from, the culture. Some people call it Cosmo, but it's basically nothing but bringing everyone together and diluting the diversity that we have had. And it's happening without even people understanding it. If people are doing it janbooch ke, then it's okay. You can't stop people from doing what they want to do. But the whole culture of clothing and design and what it shapes to the body. So more fabric you have, there's more possibilities. You can keep creating sculptural on top of each other. So it's gone. You can't do anything now. We'll all look the same in the name of design. And you can look around in the current screen also. Everybody looks the same because we have only 7 garments to wear total.
Fair point, Anuj. Why don't you tell us about your beautiful experience in Bangalore with the internship.
Bangalore, I did my diploma project with Weekender, and they were just copying everything. So I realized that if I ever want to do design, then I can't apply to any single company. Looking at that one sample of Weekender, which I knew was rich enough, I knew कि बेटा कहीं और काम करने ना जाना है, जो करना कुछ भी करना, गरीब रहना, अमीर रहना, नाम नहीं कमाना, कुछ नहीं करना, जो भी करना, but कंपनी में तो नहीं जाना, क्योंकि I realized it was all cosmetic, and from that one sample I could gauge the whole country at that point of time. Though even though new companies were coming, designers were still cosmetic add up to the companies at that point of time, and they still are to many levels.
Anuj, that was very quick of you to sort of create such a strong impression of the industry, so much so that you never applied for a job.
Yeah, I know. I have to believe in what I think. Otherwise, I kind of I have to trust myself.
Which you did. Tell us more about your application to go and study in the UK.
I left one. I mean, I interned with NID, and then I came back, and then suddenly, last day of internship, I met this lady who offered, who looked at my work, and basically, I was just watching the presentation. She was doing sportswear design or something. She was presenting the course. She said she wants product designers from NID to come and join the new course. So I was hanging around, and by mistake, I met her. She told me how expensive it was, how long it was. I had nothing. I had no plans in life. So I said, I can join, but I have no money and I have no time. She said, but why? She said, but you can apply for scholarship. I said, okay, I'll think. Next day, I was seeing Nasid's pre-dip. And I came out, Nasid took me around because he likes me. He was my junior in the Monsoon Fiesta, like helping me out when I was the Monsoon Fiesta coordinator. So he took me, bhaiya, ye, Anuj this, Anuj that. He showed me the whole presentation. I came out and I saw that lady there outside. And I told the PRO guys, leave her, I will take her around. I took her around and I showed the whole work as it is, as Nasir had told me, it was fresh in my mind. The woman comes out of the thing and said, Anuj, you're from apparel. I said, yes. Listen, do you want to come to, I give you admission. So she wrote me a letter right then and then, gave me the admission, and she told me where to apply. And I applied for that Charles Wallace India Trust scholarship. It was arts. I was one of the first candidate to ever apply for it in terms of, they give it to artists. I went there, they looked at my work somehow, and first they weren't ready, but when after looking at the work, they said, Anuj, you're the best student we've ever interviewed, and we would like to thank you as all the artists for changing our viewpoint about design. And from then day onwards, they started giving designers the scholarship for it. And I went to England to study, where I didn't study anything. I just played badminton for a year and a half. And one day I suddenly left. I said, I'm very hungry. I called up airlines and said, are there any tickets? They said, yes, next week. I packed my bags, came home. I called up from the airport in Ahmedabad, my mom, and said, listen, mom, I'm back in India. Thank you very much. That was my trip to England. But it's nice. It was nice.
What was the reason why you chose to come back?
Everything looks so beautifully done already there. They don't need me there. I mean, I think more design only kills. The lesser you design, the better it is. And that society definitely doesn't need more design. It needs more living. India needed some bit of work on it, or probably understanding it better. Food was better here. So just two things. People, you could talk to people better here. There they only say, what's up mate, where you are going out tonight. वो हर दिन पार्टी के बारे में पूछते थे, तो मैं बोर ही हो गया, कुछ और पूछते ही नहीं थे. I had lots of money to party every day, but I was happier eating my own food, cooking my food, playing badminton morning, evening, and learning what I had already learned.
Tell us about Japan.
So yeah, I came back to India, and then I was working. I was just basically loitering around and working with NID, teaching at NID NIFT, projects with craft sector. I got an opportunity for applying for something. I didn't even know what I was applying for. I applied and I got a mail saying you got through and you can come to Japan to do a show. But we'll take you to Japan for 15 days for free. And Japan is my favorite country. I mean, it's beautiful. I only heard about it from Aditi and all of that, and many other things. I said, okay. They said you have to make a collection. I had no collection. and I had absolutely no love for making garments. So I went to Sunday market, second-hand market, bought 700 rupees ka old shirts, converted that into a collection, taking help of Shakir Bhai while the classes were on. I was teaching some course. So lunch time में 1 घंटे पे दूसरा का dress form लेके I draped it in three lunch breaks. I draped it, finished it. I took that to Japan, came back, and there was Lakme happening, and I applied that there, and I got through that, and that's how my fashion journey started, knowingly, unknowingly. I didn't plan it. So basically, just opportunity and situation gave me another, breakthrough of or stage of my life. That was, Japan was one of the key highlights of my life. NID and probably then Japan. It changed everything about my work area largely. I was teaching earlier. I'm still teaching, so that's remained constant. But instead of doing craft projects with craftsmen, I was there now doing fashion, and then that craft project has really gone down now.
How was your experience with Lakme? Because I know that you were involved for a few years there. You had good as well as bad experiences, but I mean, personally, for me, when I heard about that first time when you had gone to Lakme and the fact that you did very well, I actually, if I would rewind time at that point, would have imagined you to be doing something else totally different. So I think what you did with Lakme and after that is something would be nice for you to share with others.
So that first collection made an image of me, that someone who does quirky work, simple, easy. I used to go to Lakme with exactly the way I am. I would not shoot pictures of the garments. I would not have any paperwork. I wouldn't have prices planned out. People will come say, we want to buy, where are the pictures? I said, come and see the show. I was straightforward, rude in a sense, but I was utterly truthful. What people otherwise fear, that shooting in on a good-looking model and then showing it to them and impressing them, that never makes me happy. I would rather say कि ये देख लो, show में देख लो, personally देख लीजिए. So I was this one guy who was known for speaking the truth. People would put a gun on my shoulder and shoot it at medias, and media would put, because everybody knew Anuj. If Anuj says something, then he means it. So my first collection was that. My second collection was I Let It Be. Third was something else. Like that, I kept on doing collections. And one time I took a break because I was becoming too comfortable with my own work practice. And I would do all my work in 7 days, 8 days, finish it very easy. I would work very hard in those 8 days. क्योंकि जब फटती है तो मैं काम करता हूँ. But जब तक वो एक level नहीं आ जाता, तो बहुत ही आराम से काम करता है. I've never worked nights otherwise in my life. I work 11:30 to 5. तो वैसे ही काम चल रहा था, बेचना नहीं. So I didn't sell my first collection, third collection, fifth collection. Because it was quite a lot of it was slight fake. Oh my God, we saw your work. It's so beautiful. Why don't we? And I would say, no, listen, come, sit. Don't talk too much. Look at the work first. You can't buy it. I would always say what I had to say. Then it was very comfortable, became my style. I was comfortable. Then one year I took a break and I saw a man somewhere walking with his buttons open, one button was open. And I thought, if there's one button that's open, it's a mistake. And if there are many buttons, then it'll be a pattern. Like if one person shouts in a building, then it's a show. But all the people in the building shout, then it's a festival. So I figured that जिंदगी में कभी भी कुछ करना है तो अकेले मत गलत करो, सबको लेके गलत करो, वो ठीक हो जाता है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता फिर. So I basically put buttons on a piece of fabric and buttonholes, and I went ahead and made a collection from that. And I went to Lakme for the show and I showed it to people, models, and I asked these models to change the garment. I said, why don't you change the garment? Make your own. They refused. All of them refused. Said, नहीं, हम नहीं करेंगे, गंदा हो जाएगा, हमसे नहीं बनेगा, अच्छा नहीं लगा. तो I said, कोई बात नहीं, दोबारा बना लेंगे, मैं बना दूंगा, कोई बात नहीं. नहीं, one girl did, nobody else. And that's when I realized. And I won all the awards that year. I remember Daya made one little beautiful illustration for me, button masala. I applied with that, and I won the award, Marie Claire Fashion Award, of Innovative Designer of the Year award, all of that. But I realized that it's not in the design, it's the minds of the people that have to be changed. You can keep changing design all your life, nothing will change. You have to change the mindset of the people. And if 99% of this world is population is the consumer, and if that 1% is designer, nothing will change. You change 3% there and don't even produce any designer anymore, we'll be fine. Because if a good consumer starts demanding good, then even a dumb designer will become a smart designer. But if the consumer demands bad, then even a smart designer will start becoming dumber by the day. And that's what is happening. I see it everywhere happen. Because the consumer is, so that's when I became much stricter about what I want to do in life. I had a purpose then, and I thought I would change the mindset of the people and not design anymore. Yeah,
That's very cool. That's really nice, Anuj. A lot of people, even on chat, are appreciating the thought. I think it's really, really nice thought.
Thank
I mean,
you,
that's
everyone.
a fair point.
So, yeah,
Okay.
you sharing?
One second. I'm just going through my notes. Give me a second.
So I've been doing button masala ever since, guys. Then that's it. कुछ और करना ही नहीं है, आराम से बैठे अभी हो जाएगा खत्म अभी 1 2 4 5 साल और फिर I'll shift to something else.
Okay, so I think button masala is something everyone knows about. So I'm not going to go into that. In case you want to quickly do something, show something, go right ahead, because I'm just going to roll on otherwise from here.
Yeah, I can quickly show if anybody is interested. The whole technique is very simple. It's just buttons and buttonholes to begin with, and then it becomes like a, yeah, it's like a little, anything like a coin or something, and you can put it inside the fabric and just put a rubber band around it, and that's it. It's done. It's as simple as this. There's 3 pieces of fabric. I put something here and put a rubber band around, so it's done, and you can attach it somewhere again. So yeah, you can keep attaching things at different parts of the body, wherever, fabric. So it's just a simple joinery system that I developed, and that's it. And really never thought of what it can do, but it's constantly showing me ways. We have made uniforms for, we make, yeah, I mean, lots of things have been happening anyway. Just, yeah, so this is it, done. That was demonstration.
You want to do the slide share?
Yeah. Okay. Rahul, you can keep asking the questions in between. I guess you will get the hint.
नहीं तो slides दिखा दे.
Okay. So yeah, that's my dad on the left or my left actually, and that's my mom and me. My dad was 6 feet something, he was known Prince of Jaisalmer. He was one of the most good looking guys in those days. My mom's absolutely stunning, of course. And that's me, the good combination, my sister and me again. So I only had one toy, Dara Singh. It's called Dara Singh. एक ही बचपन से आज तक सिर्फ एक ही टॉय मिला मुझे, कोई टॉय नहीं था. तो ये था, मेरे को अच्छे से याद है, बस एक ही ये टॉय था, प्लास्टिक का, एक दारा सिंह था, चड्डी पहन के फूल खिलाए. और ये अच्छे black and white. My mama used to get us pictured, so he's taken a lot of beautiful pictures through a studio called Bharti Studio in Ajmer. Very nice black and white pictures. That's me, my younger brother, my sister, one more picture of us. And so I'm very happy that they took pains in actually getting these pictures done. So I'm in the left here, and on the right of this side, my brother's one in the middle. This is me dancing. I still dance the way I dance, like you can see very clearly. Because of this presentation, I actually went through all the pictures again. So this is me dancing here in this corner. This was my mama's wedding. This is again my mama's engagement. That's me. That's my mom in the middle. My nani, the person I absolutely miss the most in my life. That's a school which is quite absolutely ridiculous uh, school to begin with. But yeah, good friends. We met up recently to all my friends, and we keep in touch now. Mahesh School, Junior School, Maheshwari Shikshan Sansthan. That's what it was called. I'm here somewhere in the corner, quiet. That's my friend Ashutosh of childhood. He was Ashutosh was one of the first person who actually helped me start drawing. So yeah, he lives in America now. So a lot of people are very very educated, IIT, ye, wo, but quite a school in the sense. That's NID. I hang out with Priyam, Sachindra, Amit, सब हरामी लोगों से हमारा नाता था. समझदारी से बात करने वाले से हमारा कोई लेना देना ही नहीं था. श्रीकांत वेल्लोर को हमने क्या क्या नहीं सिखाया. राजकाला और मैंने बहुत सारी गालियां से एक रात बैठ के मैंने और राज ने इतनी गालियां सिखाई उनको, श्वेता सचिंद्र को. और बाकी तो आई रिमेम्बर वन नाइट मी, प्रियम, सचिंद्र, Amit Sinha, four of us sat on the terrace and ragging is going on for our batch. Manish Tirawat stood with us, sat with us and listened to our jokes for the whole night. He was our senior. He didn't let us go. He said, "Beta, tum kahani suna to main bacha lunga tumhe." But he heard all our jokes. We had all the bad jokes of world. That then this is the ice breaking, I think. Second one. Then these after NID, when I hung around for internship, I think I became also close with all the Marathi gang which was there. So Shekhar, that's Milind and Kavita and me. This is when me and Kavita and Varsha were living outside somewhere. I started growing my hair. This is much later. Raj and Nitin Patel. That's one of the posters in the corner, which was Monsoon Fiesta or something, some posters. So yeah, that's. I continue. I started playing frisbee in my first year, and I've been playing it ever since. Pretty much one of the most experienced guy in the country. I do want to play internationally. So one of my life's goal is to play an international, represent India in international event in sports, which will start now. But frisbee is one of the places when I can, because now frisbee is a proper sport and Indian team goes out, so I have a chance. This is probably my 18th, 16th or 15th year when we were the winner. That's me in the middle. That's something like probably 8-9 years back. I still go for all the holies to NID, still have bhang, all the kite flyings, all the Garba events, and we have the same number of people dancing. Never give up. Still, I still stick to the last. Nobody beats the shit out of me in dancing in Garhwal. आ जाओ भैया, आ जाओ, कोई गम ना है. तुम नाचो, हम नाचते देखते कब तक नाच सकते हैं. But it's not like a unhealthy thing. It's beautiful because I enjoy that feeling of being able to stay till the end. So yeah, this is. I mean, NID is still my second home. I'll try to go play this little video if it plays. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I will skip it. This is me dancing with. You can see the person, of course. He came 2 years back. Prashant came 2 years back to. So this is exactly 2 years back. Just and this is right after dancing for about 5 hours. The video next to it, you will see what happened to my body, and that's when I realized I am Superman. It's Masta.
Yes, 20 Savitri.
Yes. This one is taking time to play.
Sajid, you said Sultri Savitri. What?
20 Savitri.
20 Savitri.
So if you guys see, my body starts sweating like that. अबे धुआं निकल रहा भाई साहब पूरा ऐसे full body.
Okay, Anuj.
For style, I can wear clothes of different kinds, and I have my Yazdi. My mama used to have a Yazdi. I spent my life on Yazdi with him. So eventually, when I could buy anything, I bought a Yazdi. And I never bought anything else but Yazdi. I've always had So that's my bike. I realized I love headgears eventually. So I have hundreds of headgears pictures, even though I never realized. Yesterday when I was looking at the pictures, I realized also because I make, so I've been shooting them on me. Now I've started playing with hair. So I've been draping. I realized that hair is probably the first learning of drape in life that anybody has. You keep draping it on your head in different ways, and it's your first fabric in life. Um, this is one of the. I started climbing, as I said, in 2014 or something. This is the place when I took. That's Kuldeep at the back. That's Kuldeep. That's Rajneesh, and that Bhagwanji is going on the top. I think it will not play properly, but it does. Sharma Peak, this is. Just the feel of it. It it's a big heavy file, so it'll lag. It looks like I'm singing to him, but basically I'm saying something that the weather went bad and it's a place called Final Call, basically. And yeah, you go. This is one of the treks called Pin Parvati Pass. It's one of the toughest treks in country. It is about 10 days, and about 4 days is like this in walking in the snow with not a single soul after second day. And this is one of the most scariest moment in my life when I had to cross this thing. This is after crossing, because I couldn't. Nobody took a picture of me crossing it, but I refused to cross the thing. The stone was flat, and we had to cross a river, and there's an 80 feet deep dip. And water, and then you just die. There's no other way. So absolutely nothing to hold. This is Bhagwanji trying to hold this guy who I'm helping cross now after crossing mine. This is me at the thing, and there's no space. What you see is a little space is actually a little ridge this big. Yeah. So I just found this picture yesterday, and so fantastic. Mountains have taught me a lot in last many years. It's made me calmer in terms of when I go to mountains, I'm so quiet. And it's exactly so. I'm going again next week, month. Anybody wants to come can join me. This is my shirt collection. Very quickly, this is so one shirt. Each garment one shirt. The story about it that 6 years later I figured out that I've done something that somebody else done exactly the same way. It's a guy called Mason Martin Margiela, M Cube. He's done exactly the same garment, but he had actually just drawn it, and I saw the drawing. But same thought process, and that's why I think everybody can copy anybody. People figured out my collection was copied by Uniqlo and sold in New York, and I was asked to complain about it. I said I love it. Japanese copying my work is brilliant. And 6 years later, I figured out that I also copied in a way without knowing though. So I think everybody should be allowed to copy. We can't even say that people copy us without saying the sentence the same way. Everything beautiful in life is because of copying, and we should absolutely let people copy without fear of any form. And I do that. So now there are people who sell clothes along with me in the same exhibition as Button Masala. They sell more than me, and I have no problem because it's still Button Masala. This is my second collection called 110 by 180. I took like one piece of fabric, 1.8 meters, and I wrapped it around the body to show how it goes around the body using piping. So I never plan a single garment. It becomes on its own, and that's the beauty of it. This was a collection called I Let It Be. I put eyelets on each this thing, and it was a winter collection, so slightly more 3D structured. Very simple, one piece of fabric every time. No hang up, no machine, just on the floor, me and Munna Bhai. This is a collection called Not For You. I just started knotting the fabric and I started draping it silk. So I sold this collection and the second collection because both were silk. Anything else I never sold. So this is that collection. This is all the people I met in my life otherwise. So Sajid took me in his first, I was the first guest in Sajid's Tesla, and I've taken Sajid in return on my Activa. I've taken this 110 kg guy on the bike. He refused. I said, no, you have to sit. You're my guest. This is in England with Kutti and Arjun. That's Finland, Sachindra. That's Alan. I've been to his house like 3 times. Sajid, many. I met her in Paris some point of time. Jasjeet, I met many times in Sweden. So yeah, I've had, and besides that, I've been to everybody's house. Like I'm a freeloader, man. सबके घर जाके chill करके party करके आता हूँ मैं. But I think it belongs, everybody's money belongs to me. So I'm just going to quickly take you. So this is the first exercise I did with button masala. After I put the button, this is the first test I did. And I figured that you can change the garment. I made this trial after this. This was the collection I showed at Lakme. This is the girl who made her, Candice Pinto made her own garment. This was the garment made by her. I was invited to do a shoot with one piece of fabric for 1 hour. I made about 18 garments in 1 hour with the shoot on, without even a single plan. All I did is I ironed the fabric very well once I reached there. I spent an hour trying to iron properly. And once that was done, give the love to material, it gives you back. And one point of time, when I finished Lakme, I said, I'm not going to do Lakme anymore. I was shooting this piece of fabric to understand how many ways can I change the fabric, a craft fabric. And that's when a rubber band came in my hand, and my rubber band became inseparable after that. And the last picture, if you see, I attached the rubber band buttons with rubber band instead of buttonholes. And that basically gave me figuring out that you can do garments like this. So this is pretty much the first or second garment of my life, or the first 10 garments. These are some wearable stuff that we do, people like Georgettes and all of that. We started changing the definition of buttons at some point of time. So this is Munna Bhai here. So I've only had one person who works for me for last 12 years, doesn't matter. So we are the fastest garment making company, fastest, cheapest, most sustainable, no cutting, no pattern making. But we still make the least number of garments because I feel that there's no need to expand. It is expanding on its own. I mean, there are about 1 lakh people now who know button masala, who can produce button masala as a garment in one night. If I say, please do it, that's the number who can actually make garment using the technique. And that's like a rattle I made. That's Munna Bhai. We also started making, like, we tried when 2012, there was flooding going to happen, no? I said, "Sab mar jao, mujhe farak nahi padna, mujhe nahi marna." So I made a moat with Munna Bhai. So we made it one day, and this is NID fountain. This is some sculptural work I'd done for Will's Fashion Week in those days. This is 2 pieces of cushion covers, and just an example of how many ways it can convert. This is just 6, but you can convert into at least 40,000-50,000 possible variations. These are some more garments. So I buy locally. I never buy anything from outside. I just buy locally. Everything is pretty local for me. I only need 3 materials: fabric, buttons, and rubber bands. If I buy some fabric, good fabric from outside, then I go and buy it. When I go, I pick up. I always pick up shopping. These are some garments. So wearable electronics, 3D structures, metal attachment. We're working for army, police. We can make like the fastest shoes. So we slowly started doing shoes. We're doing more sculptural garments. We started block printing our own fabric now. Sometimes now I'm starting furniture, more furniture from second hand, bags, laptop bags, banyan bags. So our shopping bags looks like this, the one on the right, baskets, interiors. So as I said, I've been teaching all these years. This is what is happening. This is Sweden somewhere, refugee kids in Sweden. These are colleges. That's a church in Sweden, again in Malmo. These are kids of craftsmen. That's a juvenile home I taught. That's in South Africa. There's an orphanage in Jharkhand. Horo invited me to teach in Jharkhand, so I went there. These are tribals in Ranchi next to Horo. It's Horo's hometown. These are some students in Pune. I taught them for 3 days, and they made like 30 garments. And these are the shoots that they send me. This is an artist in Holland. I worked for 9 days in Amsterdam. We made about 120 garments in 6 days. 5 days we only put button. On the 6th day we just made 120 garments, of which the 5 of them are here. Just so it's basically 5 sarees and 120 garments out of it. We shot. Of course, you can make 10,000, 20,000, but this is. I was invited to Adidas to do a talk to their in their headquarters for the whole Adidas team. So they basically uh, have invited Sachin so far and Ranveer Singh and me to give a talk. So this was their marketing team person. This was a pattern maker. This lady, old lady, she was delighted. There's 20 of these pattern makers. They loved the workshop the most because they never imagined that you could make something by cutting. These are craftsmen I teach. These two ladies made their first garment in the first hour of learning. This is in Kutch at Khamir. With Juhi, I went and did workshop. I've been working with on the hair for Africa. So we made these products, which are basically wearable hair, like a bandana, like that. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's some variety of work that I've been doing.
Woo! Awesome.
What a ride, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, really cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And I'm sure everyone's feeling that.
Slightly.
Okay, so Anuj,
Yeah.
given that you've done so much and there is such incredible work behind you, invariably I think I don't know if it's coming as a question to others, but it often comes to me about पैसे कमाने का क्या सोचा है यार?
पैसे सोच के नहीं कमाए जाते. मेरे को थोड़े दिन पहले किसी ने बोला कि हाँ, सैटी बोल रहा था कि पैसे कमाने में ही प्रॉब्लम है, कम उसमें नाम में ही कम आता है. पैसे कमाना नहीं होता है, पैसे बनाने होते हैं. या तो पैसे बनाने होते, कमाया नहीं जाता. तो उसमें सैटी बोल रहा था कमा में नहीं होता, कम आई में ही है गलत प्रॉब्लम. व्हेन यू से मुझे कमाना है, वो कम ही आएगा. So you make
बना ले.
हाँ, वो बना रहा हूँ. So during Corona time, basically I've earned the least probably from most of the people that are around me here. If you look at it, I absolutely earned nothing in all these years. And I remember Sajid and Daya coming once to my birthday. They flew down. One person was called. They came down to ruin my birthday. Came on my birthday with alcohol. Sat with me the whole night. They grilled me. तू तेरे जैसे काम के साथ तू पैसा क्यों नहीं कमाता? इतना मजा आया था. And Daya, I remember Daya very well also. But I think money is जितना अपने जेब में कम होना उतना अच्छा है. दूसरों की जेब में ज्यादा अच्छा रहता है. जब जरूरत हो तब ले लो. So I've always believed that you should have enough love with people and in life. I feel that अगर मुझे 10 करोड़ जरूरत पड़ेगा ना कल, तो मिलेगा मुझे. मेरे पास कम से कम 5,000 लोग फेसबुक में होते, कम से कम 2,000 लोग तो 1,000 10,000 रुपए में दे ही देंगे. 100% तुम सब दोगे मुझे बिना सोचे. And that's the beauty of life. Like, when you have love and you have friends and your people, one can ditch you, two can ditch you, but there's so many people. And now anyways, like now I'm making a lot of money anyways. I started teaching online during Corona. I started like a month and a half back. I have about 500 students, online students. 550 around, and I made good 12 lakh rupees in last 2 months. So I mean, I made what I need for like about 2 years in 1.5 2 months, and now I'm ready to take a break for a year. So money is fine. Money is never been an issue with me anyways, and it comes to you when money and love is the same thing. The more you run for it, the lesser it comes to you. It's true. It holds true always. So बिना डर के कमाओगे तो अच्छा है. I think fear is the problem. Fear of money is the problem. Money is actually not the problem. उसके आने का fear, जाने का fear, दोनों fear का problem है. वो दोनों मेरे को कभी रहा नहीं है. So I think I know I'll be one of a very, very rich man from the money point of view. But other than that, I travel worth 20 lakhs a year, 15 lakhs a year anyways. People pay for it. I stay in rich, lovely houses. I stay and eat home food at every place I go. But I still travel like I know my luxuries. I still travel by second sleeper in train. I don't care who's watching me. who's, I mean, I went to Goa in 250 rupees in December, and I can easily spend on a flight. But I love trains. I still love the journey, not the destination. So पैसे की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती actually. मेरा खुद का खर्चा 10,000 रुपया महीना. And I built this studio now. My expenditure was 80,000 because of the work I did. Now it's 40,000 because I had to cut down. So I cut down on my ego. So I gave up the place studio, and then I said, what do I do? So I have a place. I built up this, you know, this thing. So now my expenditure has come down half. तो पैसा नहीं चाहिए, किसी को चाहिए तो मांग सकता है.
Awesome, Anuj. Awesome. Awesome. Really awesome. Yeah, I think more than anything else, Anuj, the fearlessness in your work actually comes from there. It is, I mean, if there was, you know, this is, I guess we're towards the end of our call now, but if there was a good way to describe, if I could find a good way to describe what you're doing, is you're doing to life what your Nana did to his food plate. तो जिंदगी में पूरा निचोड़ के उसको पी रहा है. So that is amazing, and you know, thanks a lot for sharing this journey.
Thank you, Rahul, for such a lovely taking me around your through your understanding. It's nice to speak to somebody who first understands you and then talk to you about it. So fantastic, and thank you for being so patient and listening to me. My story twice. एक तो पहले सुना, दोबारा में तो बोर हो गया. But I know you enjoyed it for the show for the first time.
No, it was incredible.
I'm going to just take control from both of you. I love saying this, take control also, because I couldn't do your hosting, even though you asked. I wanted to do the vote of thanks today. So first, I want to just say hats off to Ajmera, because I know that Anuj doesn't like talking about himself much. But the background work and the questions you asked has really brought out the best, because it was a fantastic ride. I mean, we all, I can see from the comments and later when you get people's reactions, Anuj, there's a very, almost a saintly or a Zen way of being, which you've
Zen is smiling next to you.
No, so it's wonderful to see that, you know, that passion which is led without being tied down by anything else, and you're not worried about what to do with, whether it's that, you know, the focus of just doing one thing, which is what Zen meditation is. And the fact that, you know, you link Japan and a lot of the stuff to do with mountaineering and trekking. It's interesting because when you're just doing one thing and continuously getting better at it, and what you've done with that material and where you've taken it is so inspiring to see. And just hearing the other aspects of that very uncluttered mind which you have, which is completely all heart, and the way you're connecting the dots, it's about people. The fact that your love for NID shows with, I mean, Garba is just a manifestation, but you're there on campus. I know how many times you've called to connect and get people back. So, I mean, you're living life with passion, and what more can you ask for without the trappings of, you know, the material world? You're enjoying everything which you need to. So it's a big lesson for all of us. And another big takeaway, which I have also grappled with, and I've wondered why drawing is given such a big importance. And you are right. It's really about being able to communicate, and that's a very archaic way of education. And why should language be a barrier or drawing be a barrier? So I'm glad Ajmera touched upon those things to bring it out. There's so much of learning. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is just that one word of passion, and passion with your life, with what you do, and that balance which you have. So fantastic, Anuj, for teaching us so much. And thank you so much for the session. I'm just going to put the spotlight on everybody else so you see who else is.
And Sajid, there's a small thing I want to add. So, you know, for this call, I had actually collected a few videos from Raj, Priyam, Kavita, Shilpi, and all, which I don't think, you know, I want to share here because they are going to lag and it's not going to be a great experience. I'm going to pass it on to Anuj, and I'm going to post them on the main group, main gate group, so that everyone can see. I think that
don't do either. Don't send to Anuj. He won't do anything with it, or the main gate group. Send it to me. I'll put it in the video edit for YouTube. So we'll have it as part of the video.
Good. Sounds good. Yep.
Anuj will just look at it and then delete it and forget it. So So here you go, guys. First, I have to give respect to Rachna, who wakes up early morning for these sessions. There's Rachna, there's Priyam is there.
Hi, Anuj.
And then
Nice to see you.
our own Rajnikant.
Rajnikant.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Anuj. And Ajmera. Super. And I still believe it's a virtual background. तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो.
Of course.
It's an immersive background.
You forgot to tell everyone you are the president of ADI Ahmedabad chapter.
Yeah, that's important. And we have Mrs. Arnab Goswami.
Hi, Anuj. Absolutely inspiring. So inspiring. Thank you so much.
Hi Anuj and Rahul. Brilliant session. I think I managed to catch this session after a long gap, but I think really worth it. Amazing, amazing guys.
Well done, Prakash. I keep seeing the mails which say that Prakash logs in at all odd times when the session is over. So today you got it bang on. It's like, he misses the train each time.
True.
Jiggy.
Really loved it. Really enjoyed.
Hi, Anuj.
Sadam.
Hi. Nice studio.
Back to the most famous name on campus. Jam.
Thank you. Great session. Good to eat.
Hi, Anuj. Thank you very much. It was a great session. Hey, Anuj. That was just amazing.
Anjali.
Hey, good fun. Thanks, Anuj. Hi, Ajmera.
Hey Anuj, hey Ajmera, thanks for, and Sajid, thanks for getting all of this together.
Thanks, Anuj. Thanks, Ajmera and Sajid.
And then there's a
Good seeing everyone.
other lot who doesn't put their video on because that makeup is not done. There's Zain also. You want to say something, Zain?
Then तुम भी बोलो हिंदी में.
Shahrukh Khan there. Doesn't run away, he just hides here. He's actually waiting for someone to ask him always. Anuj, thank you so much.